or they'll get a yes card saying, think again, if you really follow through with this, these are the penalties that you could face. And when we've done this in the past, we've been really happy that most of the, by far, 90% of the customers will say, no way, what are you kids doing out here?
Good.
And then when they explain the survey, they're very happy that the kids are out there doing something like this. So that's a really great strategy. And then we had a Safe Prom presentation, which Brittany will be talking about a little bit more, where we really try to get the message across to kids that we want them to have fun and we want them to stay safe. We had a presentation by Dr. Sherling from, who's associated with BMC, and he talked a lot about the brain development, some of the statistics that Kelly was referring to about the delaying, how important it is to delay the age of onset, but also that new imagery allows us to see all these inactive parts of the brain because of substance abuse use.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
I was there and it was freaking me out.
Yeah, no,
I was thinking,
amazing.
oh my gosh.
It's amazing. But he really highlighted that some of the most important things that we can do are to keep lines of communication open with our kids, that they need that warm adult child connection, as well as clear expectations and consequences spelled out for them.
And I thought he was terrific. I definitely think you asked a really good question about, how do you really talk with the kids when they start disagreeing with you? Oh, marijuana is not that big of a deal. And I thought it was great that he said, be careful, because if you come out too strong, you shut them down.
Right.
And then you lost an opportunity. So
right.
I think we could all probably use some skill building around that, but it was really, really helpful, I thought. Just a couple seconds ago, we were talking about tip training. You want to throw something in about that?
So there are two more things I wanted to mention.
Yep.
One is the TIPS server training. So this is server training that's provided to folks who serve liquor in restaurants and bars or sell liquor in a package store. And we're providing 4 free sessions over the next few weeks. And there's still some slots open, and you can go to our website, totallyfreeberkshires.org, and find out how you can sign up for those.
Great.
And then we also have a parent survey, which we would love parents of kids who are in 7th through 12th grade to complete. And again, you can find the link for that survey on our website as well as on some of the school websites. And that's really, that parent survey is to gather information that we can use to message to parents the positive things that we already know that the community is doing to protect their kids. Things like having those open lines of communication, really talking about alcohol and drugs and what our expectations as parents are of our children. But also, one of the biggest protective factors is having dinner with your kids. So the more often a family is able to sit, which is hard to do in these busy lives that people have, but if you can take the time to really sit down and have a meal, more often than not, that's a terrific protective factor for kids.
So a lot of the things that we could do are pretty simple.
Yes.
We don't realize that sometimes. It feels overwhelming when you talk about these issues, but it's simple things like dinner together, which is terrific. How do you make sure your messaging and the approach you're taking is works for youth? And I'll certainly ask Brittany a little bit about that too, but what are the things that you do, Pittsfield Prevention Partnership does, to really make sure youth are engaged and interested and getting the messages we're hoping for?
Well, that's one of the things I really like about working in the Pittsfield Prevention Partnership is the inspiration that you get when you talk to young people who care about this issue. It's really amazing. There are kids who, either the Red Cross Youth Leadership Team or the Students Against Destructive Decisions, who are engaged in this issue. They really care about it. And we work with them, we partner with them. We get their feedback on marketing messages, we'll get their feedback on any of the strategies that we're doing. They're the ones who are involved in sticker shock. They're the ones who are going out and doing shoulder taps, and they're eager to participate.
Just so exciting.
Yeah.
And I think the sticker itself, was that designed by youth? Is my recollection there was a little contest or something?
Yeah.
That's so exciting. That's terrific. I remember there being a lot of buzz around that in terms of it happening. And same thing with parents. I know we were just talking about the Safe Prom event was really well done, but a little disappointing in terms of not more parents there. So what are some strategies to get parents more involved, or what are you hoping to do? Obviously the survey is a big piece of it.
So the survey is a big piece of it. We know that parents are super busy.
Yeah.
And some of them have more than one job, or they have younger kids and they can't get out. And one of the risk factors that has come up on the survey is family management issues. So really kind of learning that communication style that's so important to keep those lines open. And we've had a number of parent workshops, but it is, like we said, tough to get the parents out in the evening. And so we've, last summer, and we're hoping to repeat it this summer, we're going to the workplace in some instances to bring our parent workshops to the lunchroom.
Oh, that's great.
And then also this marketing campaign will get a much broader audience, we're hoping, because we'll be able to message these things that parents can really use, tools that they can use.
Yep.
And they can answer their kids. I'm not the only parent who wants to know where you are.
And sometimes even if I am too bad, because you're my kid.
And I need
tough.
to know where you
Yeah.
are, and I need to know who your friends are, and I would like to meet your friends' parents,
Yeah.
and connect with them and talk to them before there's a party. Make sure there won't be alcohol there. Those kinds of things, those messages we can get, if we can get that out to a broad audience, we know that will go a long way in protecting our kids.
Absolutely. Just real quick, plug that website again, because for those parents who are so darn busy, and sometimes it's 11 o'clock at night when you finally sit down and you say, I'm worried about something, you can go on the website and get great information.
Right. It's www.totallyfreeberkshires.org. And there's also, you can also get the survey at the Berkshire United Way website as well.
Which is www.berkshireunitedway.org, just to be
Right.
really simple.
And you can also like us on Facebook.
Oh,
It's
good
Field
job.
Prevention Partnership. Please like us on Facebook. We have 202 fans right now, and we'd love to bring that number up.
Excellent, excellent. So let's talk to Brittany a little bit, because you know what? You are a future. You are one of the many people and young individuals in the community who we are all caring about and wanting to support and help you build aspirations and believe you can be all you can be. I've seen you in a couple instances. I'm not worried. You're gonna be an amazing adult, no question about it. But what got you involved first in the Red Cross Leadership Program? Because I know that really was the connection to Pittsfield Prevention Partnership. But we'll go on from there once we hear a little bit about the Red Cross program.
Well, Jody Jury, she got me into the Red Cross program. It was like last year. I came from North Carolina. I was like, didn't really have a lot of friends. So she was like, hey, Brittany, you want to do Red Cross? I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. And then so I started Red Cross, and I started to like it. Met some great people there. Like, if I need to talk to them, I could talk to them about anything. And I loved the program ever since I was in it. I kind of don't want to leave it now. But, yeah, I had to go to college. You can't just stay.
Yeah, well, this has probably helped you realize that you need to go to college and what have you. I know Jody's one of the facilitators. There's two other, I believe, facilitators.
Mark and Randy.
And they're really terrific. I've seen them interact with the young folks, and they do a great job. So from there, one of the things I know the group does is they decide each year sort of some projects to work on. How did you guys decide substance abuse? I mean, that's you're putting yourself out there saying, I'm a young person who doesn't believe in doing that, and it's a little risky.
Yeah, well, at first we started with suicide prevention, but that didn't work out because it's a heavy topic and nobody wanted to really talk about it. So then we went to substance abuse, and we was like, okay, so we could somewhat talk about this without everybody saying, la la la, we don't want to hear it, So we started that, and not only was that an easy topic for people to talk about, also a lot of people in the group had either know somebody who had know somebody who do drugs or alcohol, or had a parent or somebody in their family who do drugs and alcohol.
I think, unfortunately, with the numbers we were talking about and what's going on in the country, we're all touched by it in one way or another. So one of the things you guys decided to do is do the Safe Prom, and Karen mentioned that. Can you tell us a little bit about what you guys did and how you felt doing it, and what the reaction from the audience was?
Well, so Safe Prom was more about trying to convince kids to be safe at prom. I mean, if you come into prom drunk, you're not going to have a good time because you're barely going to remember it, and we're going to be annoyed by you, and we're not going to have a good time. So everybody wants to have a nice, fun prom. And we wanted to be safe without alcohol or drugs so we could all have a great time. And we did a skit for it, and our skit was basically about how doing drugs once, you can get addicted. And just doing it once could, like, you could be hooked after doing it once. Like, it only takes one time to, like, do all that. And we were trying to say we need parents and everybody here, not just parents, our teachers, everybody, to, like, help us. Because, like Ariel said in her little speech, it takes a village to raise a child. And we need that village now.
And one of the things you demonstrated, because you kind of did a party atmosphere, is that peer pressure. What do young people need to support them in making healthy decisions and not being sucked into that? I mean, even that night we were kidding about you passing around cups, and many of the adults took a cup because we didn't know what to do. We're like, okay, whatever. But that's incredible pressure. What do you guys need from your peers and from family and anyone to really help you make healthy decisions?
You need to learn. Like, you need to learn, like, what happens. Like, you need an example of someone who's been through that kind of stuff and how their life isn't so great. And even people who has never done drugs, had never done none of that stuff, and how their life turned out, and how a lot of people who have never done drugs are doing better than people who are on drugs and on alcohol. Because my mom used to be a big partier when she was younger, and I see how her life turns out, and I'm like, I don't want to be like her. I want to have something better. So I know, like, if I'm at a party, I'm just gonna like pet. I don't want the cup. Just take the cup. I don't need it, because I seen what the cup can do to a person.
And I think you bring up a great point that you need to see that tough side, but also seeing people who have made positive choices and who have had really good things happen in their life as a result of it. So it's a balance, and then you can sort of make some decisions from there. So going off to college, is that correct?
Yeah.
Do we know where?
Well, I'm going to BCC for 2 years.
Great.
And then I'm really hoping to go to SUNY Albany right after that, because I love that school.
Excellent. That's where I got my master's degree. It's a fabulous program. So excellent choices. So Karen and Kelly, I'm going to give you a kind of a quick minute to say what you think is maybe the most important message you really want people to take away from today's program.
I really feel that parents need to keep the lines of communication open, keep talking to their kids. They may think their kids aren't listening, they're listening. We know that what parents say to kids is one of the most protective factors that kids can have in terms of making healthy choices.
Excellent. And Kelly?
I was going to say, sitting here listening to Brittany and what she's aspiring to do with her life and the positive choices she's made because of the programs that you've been involved in and the role models that you've had or not had, that I think that's even more reason that we have, thousands of young people in this community, and we want all of them to have that same attitude, that I'm going to go to college, I'm going to have a goal, I'm going to have a career, and I'm going to hit that mark. And I think that if we all pull together, we can do that.
And we've seen the successes, as she mentioned, too, which I think is really important to really highlight those. And I don't know how we could go wrong with a group like you guys. So I hope we gave you some information today on how important it is to really work together to fight this substance abuse issue, to really take a prevention approach, again, looking at risk and protective factors, to get involved as a parent or as a community member. You can see it's going to take a lot of effort to really turn this around. Thank you for tuning in today. If you want more information, www.berkshireunitedway.org. We'd like you to fan us on our Facebook page as well. So thanks for being with us today.